Hi guys, welcome to this tactical video. This is the first part of a new series I'm making on basically Assault, or rather how to make Assault work in Warhammer 40,000. And yeah, got a thing set up here so we can do some tricks. First off, a word about Assault, because I think it needs to be said. The common opinion in 40k 7th edition especially, and even 6th edition, is that Assault just does not work. And I completely disagree with this. I've been using Assault in just about every army list I have, including my Tau, for quite a while. And yeah, it's often very decisive instead. So to say it doesn't work is kind of like, it's a bit too dismissive, if you ask me. It's a whole phase of the game that you really need to pay attention to, and with just a little bit of work and effort, you can turn it to your own advantage and take full advantage of it, whereas a lot of opponents don't. And to be honest, a lot of the problems I see that people have with 7th edition generally are about shooting, and they're coming at the problem like a unit is too powerful because of its shooting power, or because you can't kill it fast enough with shooting. I think that is a big problem for a lot of people, but they don't even consider Assault as an option, and that's just daft. It's a whole phase of the game that you're not paying attention to. In addition to that, I see a lot of opponents who really don't even consider Assault as an option, for to the point like you'll see army lists, that kind of thing, where they haven't even factored in what would happen if they're assaulted. They basically have like a Death Star or something that's really shooty, you know, and they're not going to get assaulted. They're going to outshoot you as you try and shoot them, and yeah, the cost will win that. So these are the things that I don't think people pay attention to. Now, having said that, Assault is not as easy as it used to be. And honestly, rightly so, because in certain previous editions, basically Assault was just, you put down your army, you charge across the table, and, you know, wipe them out in Assault. Whoever had the strongest Assault units wins, and that's no different from now, only now it's shooting, whoever has the strongest shooting wins, and it doesn't have to be that way. Basically, you have to just play a bit smart and, you know, use things appropriately. You shouldn't be able to just put down units and charge across the table. It's brainless. Anybody can do that. If that was successful, then you've got a problem with your game. In particular, I remember when Tyranids went from what was it, the Codex just before last to the new one. One of the big qualms people had was how, oh, the Nidzilla list doesn't work anymore. You know, it's not working anymore, Tyranids are useless, and that's not true. Tyranids are fine as an all-rounded army. You just have to think about it. You have to have some shooting in there and stuff, and you have to have, like, tactics. You can't just throw your army across the table and hope to win, because that's stupid. So, anyway. So, basically, yeah, it's not that simple, but if you just put a little bit of thought into it, then Assault can really work, and here we go. I'm going to have my first example of something you can use to make Assault work for you, okay? And this video is about screening. So, basically, I've got my Hammer Blow unit, which today is represented by Repentia. Shall I focus? Yep, so we've got Repentia. This is squad of 3, but, you know, imagine a full-size squad or whatever you like. Okay, and in front of them we have some Seraphim. Again, okay, so say this is deployment. I'll just put these the right way. Say this is deployment on a table. Okay, I put my Seraphim at the front. Okay, put my Hammer Blow unit at the back. Now this is kind of like a 1-2 punch in many ways. So the idea is these do the killing, but of course they're very squishy. They're a glass cannon. They die easy. Okay, at the front you have a faster unit. Doesn't necessarily have to be faster, but it needs to be at least as fast, if not faster, than the unit behind it. They have some shooting power as well, so, you know, they can reach out and touch, but mainly they're more defensive. They got better armor, better protection. Excuse me. So because of that, they don't die as easy, which is good because they're at the front. Okay. So the basic thing about screening is simple. Okay. We want to get across this table over to there where those Poxy Eldar are. We've got Farseer and a D cannon. Just twizzle that. Okay, so we've got a D cannon over there. We're going to get over there and kill it. Okay? This is how you do it. So you have 2 units. You've got the hammer blow at the back. These at the front. These are faster. The idea is that whenever these move forward, whenever the Seraphim move forward, these move along behind, basically. And it's called screening because you have this screen in front, protecting the ones at the back. That's why it's called screening. In a game rules sense, this works because you get a cover save, okay? Get 5 at cover save for shooting through a unit. Okay. The main benefit of this, though, is the psychological benefit. And that is that even now, most opponents will shoot at the unit that is closest to them, especially when it's a type of gun like this that has no close combat capacity or anything like that. They will shoot at the most dangerous thing to them immediately. And that makes sense because these need to be dealt with. Okay? Excuse me. So, the other thing is you can play on that more. Because if these are getting shot, these are safe, and these are the ones that do the actual damage. Having said that, if they do shoot through, at least these are getting some protection from the cover, maybe even line of sight, depending on what you're screening with, but I'll go over that in a minute. But also, you know, these have a bit more protection. So both units are getting the protection, and then these would be free to move around if they're shooting them. So either way, he's got to pick something, okay? Now, as I said before, you can play with this psychology a bit more because, for instance, Seraphim are very fast. So instead of moving like to here on my first turn, they get to move to here, for instance, like all up in their face. So say I move them like this, okay? They all move up like so. Let's just pan out a bit, okay? And then I can move the Repentia up behind them as far as they can go. That's about half the distance, okay? So that's a problem. Odds are I'm not going to get the charge. This obviously isn't first turn, but you know. Odds are they're not going to get the charge, so I've got 2 options now. If these survive well enough, I could always, I could charge them in and pin them down. Pin this unit down, and then this unit can't fire anymore, at which point the Repentia can go in as they want. Otherwise, I want to basically be running this unit as fast as possible. Okay, so then, especially because they got fleet, they've got more chance of getting up there. So yeah, they can almost keep up, running on foot. These will be the bigger threat because they'll be up there. These can pin things if need be, like this unit, and then these can come in and finish it later and get some protection. Failing that, these at least have some shooting, so you can like reach out and touch things. Now, this is Repentia as an example. However, if this was a different type of unit entirely for a different codex, if I had some shooting ability in here, maybe a little bit, some pistols or something, you'd have to carefully weigh up whether you'd want to fire, because, again, the psychology of it is, if you don't use these for anything other than moving in the first turn, people might not think about them so much. Now, so basically, if you don't shoot with them, then it doesn't draw attention to them. But again, you might need to just take whatever you can get, you know. So that's very much up to you. But again, play on the psychology of it because it does have an effect. So there's a few things there. Now, let's just say there is a counter-assault unit. Let's say there's some striking scorpions. Okay, let's just put them all on the board. There we go. Okay, counter-assault. Normally that would be bad news for any unit coming to assault them, because then the scorpions could get in. However, now you've got some options, because you could always, at this point, peel off them, again with the better defences, to assault them, and shoot and assault them basically. Hold them in line while the Repentia gets stuck in on the cannons, which you actually want to die. So, because of this, you're basically taking out the entire threat, but the main threat still gets dealt with by the thing you've brought to destroy it. Screen is important because, you know, it gives you those options as well. So even if the screen survives, you get those options, but also, mainly, it's about the psychology. Now, the other good thing with a screen that moves fast like this, especially because they're jump infantry, so they can like jump over enemy models and that kind of thing, is you can move them to face, basically move them around the unit to protect however you want. So because of that, you know, if there's new threats coming from the sides or even behind you, you can at least cover them. So, you know, some good options there. Okay, other things you can use is dedicated transports, such as this Rhino. You could use that as a mobile wall, and the good thing is there you can cover it like that, and then obviously hide your models out of line of sight, which gives you a little bit more protection as well. So yeah, you've got quite a few options really. It's mainly about the psychology of this, and obviously this is a tiny microcosm, and if you just have this, it probably won't work, because, you know, it's still a melee threat. I will be talking about other tricks in the next videos to get things into Assault and make Assault work, and at the end of it I will be putting all of these tricks together. So this is the first one, and the first method of making the most of your Assault troops. So hopefully that was useful and it actually made some sense. If you liked this video, remember to click like. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know and I'll get back as soon as I can. But yeah, otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.